So let's just jump into talking about the ebb and flow of spirit communication, which is what we're all interested in, what we're in the group for. We want to connect with the spirit world, whether it's our guides or our loved ones on the other side, and we can. And if you only knew how easy it is, once you get your doubts aside, once you start paying attention, because, okay, Alan's saying a lot of you were just distracted, which we understand. We live in a time of infinite distractions. But if you want to connect, you have to learn to quiet your mind. You have to learn to just take some time and deep breaths and just be in nature or just sit by a window that looks out onto nature or do something that brings you into a peaceful state as best you can. Okay. I want to share a recent experience I had with Alan that really it did involve channeling. And it showed me that our connection is always going to another level. It's constantly going to evolve. So whatever you've experienced so far, whether you don't think you've got anything or it's really marginal, please know that this is an incremental journey that takes time. It takes time for you to raise your vibration, to clear your limiting beliefs, to quell any fears or doubts you have. It just takes time. And that's okay. You've got time. What else do you have? Where are you going? You're going to be here tomorrow anyway, in all likelihood. And they are here to help us. Your loved ones and your guides, they can help us. They help us all the time. You just don't even realize it. So what happened to me on Sunday, I had the whole day off. I was supposed to spend time with our son Taylor, but something happened and he couldn't make it. So I decided that I was going to drive to the other side of the island. Kailua is where we basically lived most of our marriage, where I was born and raised in Kailua, the windward side of Oahu. I was going to go there on my own. And then, but a friend of mine messaged me and said, what are you doing? Like, I thought you were doing something today. And I said, no, I'm free. She said, well, come, I'm going to take you out for breakfast. So I said, okay, cool. I'm going to go to see her. So I was all feeling like, hey, that sounds fun. I'm in a good mood. I get in my car. It's maybe a 25-minute drive. And I'm driving over to the other side through the mountains, through what they call the Pali. And so I'm usually play my music. And I feel Alan through the music, which he always loves. But this time he said, could you just channel me? Now, I have taught you folks, I believe in the channeling masterclass, that that's a way to channel. Like go for a drive with them. Go for a scenic drive, a relaxing drive somewhere. And so I thought, yeah, I just taught that. And maybe I should, take my own instruction. And I said, okay, cool. I'll turn off the music. So I'm just driving. And I start talking to him aloud in the car. So I say, so what do you want to say? And then he puts these thoughts in my head and I start speaking for him, like for him. And I notice, of course, that I'm in a slightly altered state, but I want to assure you that you already are in an altered state when you drive. You just don't realize it. And spirit is watching over you. So if there's something you need to know, they're going to let you know, like slow down, or, if it's really important, or they're going to warn you about something. So you're not in any danger. Okay. You're just not. So I just started speaking for him, and I was in, like I said, a slightly altered state. So I can't remember verbatim everything he said because I'm just speaking aloud and I wasn't recording it. But I did get the gist of the message, and he was telling me some things he hadn't said before, about things that touched him, about things that were he was, had regret for that I didn't know that. I mean, I knew about other things. And so it was really beautiful because I felt this merging and I got emotional because I would feel his emotion come in and I would know, wait, that's not me, that's him. Because I just knew that wasn't my emotion. I was just feeling his emotion, right? So it was amazing. It was just incredible. I was crying like through probably half of the time, just going, "Oh my God, I can feel your love," or I see what you're talking about, and it was very moving, incredibly magical. And so I go to visit my friend. We go out for breakfast. After we're done with breakfast, we're talking away. He's happy that I see my friend because we became friends when she bought my parents' house. Yeah, we sold our house because I inherited the house. We sold it to her and her family. I knew I was guided to do that. And she and I have become good friends. So I get to go back to the house that I lived in with my parents for about 8, 9 years or whatever, and have really great memories there. And I get to be there with my friend. And so I'm hanging out with her, and then we're getting tired. We had a big breakfast, and it's like, okay, it's almost 11 o'clock because we got out for breakfast for 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, okay, I think I need to go home. And she was tired too. So I get in the car and I'm driving back home. So here I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to channel you again. I'm going to go talk to you again. So I try to do it and I don't feel it. I'm just not feeling it. It's like I hear Alan. It's like he's coming into my mind, but I'm tired. I'm not feeling negative or anything. I'm just physically tired because by then it's like 11:30 in the morning. I'm tired. So he says, "Don't don't just stop." He said, "You need to be in a more rested state. You were relaxed and you're fresh in the morning, and right now you're just tired. Your body's digesting your breakfast and it's going on midday. It's hot outside." He said, "I know you're tired. Let's change our plans because we were going to do something else." He goes, "Just go home. Let's just go home and just play your music." So I knew I couldn't do it. Like I knew it was, and he said, "What's the problem, Pam? You can talk to me tomorrow or the next day. The point is to make time and then to not be disappointed if for some reason it doesn't pan out. Like maybe you are too tired, or maybe your mind is all over the place, and as much as you want to, like you want to, it's like it's not happening. So you just set it aside and go, okay, I'll try again later. I'll try again tomorrow. I'm not going to worry about it. He says that they're pretty much always ready to talk to us. That said, sometimes they know that we need our space. We need time. We're going through something. We might not know it. Or, we might want it so bad. We go, I want to do this, I want to do this. But we are not really ready, and they know it. It's not the best time. So if that happens to you, again, don't feel frustrated. Don't think that, well, he's not here, she's not here. What happened? I'm not feeling them. I'm doing something wrong. They've left me. It's none of that. It's almost always our state of being, and it's up to us, our ability to perceive. So this is something that is an ebb and a flow, that sometimes you're just in the flow and you're feeling good physically, mentally, emotionally, like all of it, spiritually, even. And other times you're not. And that's all right. You're not expected to be in this state of nirvana, like all the time. Like you're going to be in and out of different states of consciousness. As I've said before in another live, we actually go in and out of different dimensions through the day. Sometimes you're closer to the dimension of the spirit world, the fifth dimension. Sometimes you're far away from it because you're more locked into the 3D world. That's expected. So you're going to have to ride this. It is like, he says, it is like riding the wave, riding these waves of ascension, of spirit communication. It's not going to be a fixed thing. Just he says, just like when they were in a body, were you always able to communicate fluidly, easily? Chances are not, because maybe they were tired, or you were tired, or they're cranky, or you're cranky, or whatever. So why would it be any different in the spirit world? To communicate with them, because on our end we are like going to be all over the place. Them not so much, of course, but we're the ones that are really setting the tone here. So please understand that the thing is to set your intention that you want to communicate, and communication can be nonverbal. So when you don't feel strong enough to channel a message, like to get like an actual communication, whether it's mind to mind, or you speaking it or writing it, just blend with them. Okay, just blend with them. That's what I did with Alan this morning. He just said, "Can you come back to bed and just merge with me, just blend with me?" And it was beautiful. We weren't talking. There's a lot that happens in the silence. So do that. You're raising your vibration when you do that. You know, when you allow yourself to just go into that deep state with them, you are going into an altered state with them because you're matching their vibration. So do that. It doesn't have to be you're channeling this long, beautiful message, although that's great if you do that. It can simply be you're just blending with them. That for me has been lately the most incredible experience of all. And because it stays with me. Whereas the message that I might get, like I said, he was talking to me in that morning, and I remembered the gist of it, the important parts of it, but I couldn't, recite it. I couldn't tell you like verbatim what it was. But he says, "So what? Don't you have conversations with people that are wonderful?" And then you go, "Okay, I don't remember everything that we said." Who does? But I remember the most important parts, and those parts stay with me because they really made an impression. We're not expected to remember everything when we talk to somebody. And again, that said, there are times when you're going to want to write it down. Like they might tell you, "Could you write this down?" Because they don't want us to forget. They want us to have a record of it. So do both. Do both with your channeling. Write down messages regularly, especially when you're starting out. Write it down. Talk to them, ask them questions, but also spend time just blending with them and connecting. But but right when it feels right to do that, and he's saying to me, mix it up. Write it sometimes, speak out loud sometimes into a recorder of some sort, or just talk aloud without recording it, like I did, like in the car. Okay. Like try all of it. He's saying, don't limit yourself to one thing. He's saying to me, we humans tend to do, he knows he was like this, tend to find a routine, like, okay, I'm gonna write. And then we'll just do that over and over and over and over. And in the beginning, I think there's merit to that. I think that can be really useful. But if you want to really go deep with this, try all the different ways. And yeah, he says mix it up. And I would agree with that. Mix it up a bit. Keeps it fresh for you too. So, okay, I haven't been looking at the comments. I'm going to open that up. Someone's just said, "You're so right about driving and channeling. It's easier for me than meditation." Yes, it is easier for you than, and you have to drive sometimes anyway, right? So do that. And Robin says that helps to know I thought I was doing something wrong. Why? Because you weren't getting like anything? Because he's saying you cannot get this wrong. You really can't get this wrong. And just connect. Okay. And do you see, I hope you're beginning to see how much more powerful this is than practicing mediumship, where you're just trying to get like just literally get, you know, their words. I mean, you're getting words too when you channel. But we're talking about the whole, he's saying the whole package, like physically blending, energetically blending, on a soul level blending, talking to them mind to mind, trusting that because that's going to develop your telepathy, writing down what thoughts they put into your mind. And that is so easy for them to do. I cannot emphasize that enough. Spirit has always been putting thoughts into people's minds. They put thoughts into everybody's minds. Don't freak out about it. It's the reason why a lot of people even survive because spirit guided them to something that saved their life or, prevented them from some catastrophe that, so they weren't hurt. And that's what they're always doing. The spirit world is actively part of this world. You just don't get it. You just don't know it because people aren't talking about it because a lot of people would just freak out about it. So Jan is saying that helps because lately I've been all over the place between writing, voice channeling, etc., and wonder if I was creating more chaos by jumping back and forth. So it makes sense. Yeah, just do what I would do for you, Jan, or anybody who's in that position or gets to that position, is just wake up in the morning and say, "What do I feel guided to do? Okay, I want to connect with you. Do I want to just blend with you? Do I want to write what you're saying? Do I want to just talk to you in my mind? Do I want to, record it, like speak aloud for you and what I want to do? Or maybe they're even going to say, just take a break. Just take a break and enjoy life, or go like me lately. It's like, Pam, go to the movies with your son. So I went to the movies again with Taylor. So don't, this is not like school, not school in terms of, shouldn't be like drudgery, okay? It's like life is a school, but doesn't have to be a constant effort and work. So just like relax. How can you tell if you are merging, blending? So really that starts with your intention. You just say, your intention is to blend with your loved one or blend with your spirit guide, whoever it is non-physical you want to blend with. You just set that intention. I want to blend with my guide. I want to blend with my loved one, my partner, my mother, whoever. Say, and you're calling them to you. You could call them by name. You could think of them in your mind. You could look at their photo. Whatever it is, they know their signature. They'll come in and just set your intention to blend with them. Now, the blending is going to feel a lot more viscerally tangible, usually more tangible for partners because of the intimate connection that you share, which you wouldn't have with a parent or a child. That would not be appropriate, would it? So it's different. You can still feel them merging with your parent or child or whoever, but it's gonna be a little different. So that's why you're probably going to hear where partners and spouses talk about just more intense experiences. It doesn't mean other people can't have them. It's just going to be different. And I think that makes sense to you guys too, right? Like, okay, yeah, that's your partner. You were physical with them, you're intimate with them. It's going to be a more up close and personal kind of contact as you would expect. They want that too, by the way. Right? So, but a parent or a child, well, they don't want that. They want you to know they love you. They want to hug you for sure. They can do that, but it's not going to go more than that for you. It's only with a partner. Yeah, with a partner, as someone just said, as a partner's more intimate. That's the only difference, everybody. What we're describing goes across the board for anybody connecting with the spirit world. With a partner is just more intimate. It can definitely be sexual in nature or arousing in nature, okay? Because they're not dead. They just don't have a physical body. But people, and I know I talk to them and I have interacted with people who are having contact. Like, well, I am, and other people are too. So, but that's a partner. With a parent, child, it can still be. I feel like my son. He feels his dad squeeze his shoulder when he was really upset. His dad, Alan just came up and squeezed his shoulder like that. He knew it was his dad, and his dad kind of said, it's going to be okay. So he can feel his dad, but he's not going to feel his dad like I do, of course. But he feels his presence. He feels his dad, like I said, massage his shoulders like Alan would have done when he was in a body, things like that. You can still have that kind of contact and those signs. And you can have the communication too. It's just that with a partner or spouse, again, that person, you would have likely, if they were still here in a body, you would be talking to each other every day. Like I think who was I talking this to? Maybe it was my friend Sean. I said, yeah, if you weren't talking to that person every day, what kind of relationship did you have? If you didn't, if you weren't living together. I mean, I know some people were living apart, and that's a different thing. But I mean, if you're not talking to each other on a regular basis, or if you're living together but talking to them every day when they come home, like, well, what kind of relationship is that anyway? You would be communicating, and hopefully they would be supporting you, and you were supporting them. So there'd be a lot of conversation, there'd be a lot of sharing back and forth. But with a parent or a child, there might be. I know some parents who are very close to their children, adult children. I mean, I'm really close to Taylor, but I don't talk to him every day. But we're really tight, and and we have a great time. We see each other. But he has his life and I have my life, and that's usually how it is, isn't it? With other loved ones, non-parent partners. or even friends. You're not living in each other's pocket. But couples, they often do live like literally like glued at the hip, some of them, right? And Alan and I were kind of like that, even though our relationship wasn't as fulfilling as both of us would have liked. We were always together and always talking to each other, like every day. I mean, literally every day, morning to night. I mean, he was always around me and he never wanted to not be around me, which I couldn't understand. He like didn't like it if I even went off with a friend, like a girlfriend or something. He always wanted to be with me. So he was always with me. So why would he change now? So that's different than my relationship with my mother or a dear friend or whatever. So with that communication, just know that it's there and just be easy with it, okay? And not set unrealistic expectations because like I said, they're learning, you're learning. There is nonverbal communication that is amazing. So if you're struggling with the actual technical part of channeling, then go for that. Just go for feeling them and ask them to blend with you because this is a co created experience. You have to be open, you have to be willing, you have to trust, and just go with the experience. Believe whatever happens, whatever you feel, and just take it from there. Be in that state for as long as it feels comfortable. So Sherry's saying when her mom visits and merges that she can smell her fragrance. It's very different. Yeah, that's cool. I love that. Absolutely. So you know that's her. And that's what they can do. You could smell their perfume, or maybe not so pleasant if they're a smoker. You might say, okay, I smell the cigarette. Their cigarettes they used to smoke. Some people I know have experienced that. Let's say with an aunt or a father or whatever, maybe a partner too. But those things let you know, like, okay, that's you. They're just letting you know. So the feeling them, I really want you to see as again as another form of communication because it just is. Because also it's feeling not just like tactily, okay, but feeling their emotion. And because I know that this is what really heals the grief is when you can feel their love and you feel their presence and you feel the comfort that they come in with because that is to me more important than even the message because it stays with you. Alan's saying it lingers. He's saying showing me it like layers, is layering you with this love because they're always there trying to love us, or as he's saying, to love on us. They're giving us love. But if we're shut down, we're not feeling it. We're not feeling that love that they're immersing us in. And they do that because they know that's what's going to fill us up. So it's understandable in a physical world that we're looking for physical, proof, right? Like I want to see you, or I want to see a sign, I want to see a coin or a feather or a bird, and those are all great, and you're getting them. Many of you are getting them, and I got them too. But you want to feel their love because you cannot make that up. You just can't. When you feel that come over you, that's really the only thing that's real. Is the experience, the visceral experience of that love, that sense of connection and bliss, right? It's the love. After that, everything else will come. But if you put seeing them first, that's hollow, actually. Really, it is. I mean, for a lot of you're going to say, but I want to see if I saw them, that would be it. And I promise you, that's not going to be enough. I know that because I've talked to people who do see spirit, but they don't feel them yet. And it's like actually it's kind of frustrating. It's like Alan's saying to me, it's like seeing them, in a window. Like, oh, I can see you through the window, but I can't feel you. And I can't really hear you. But I can't get to you. I can see you. Like, so what? That's not enough. So Alan, believe in his wisdom, said to me, most important thing for you and I, Pam, I want you to feel my love. After that, everything else will come. But unless you feel my love, you're going to be grieving because you won't feel me, at your side. You won't feel me in your heart. You'll feel alone. I don't have a body, but I can make you feel my love. And they can. They can. And some of you are having that. I know that. Some of you are feeling that. Some of you go to sleep at night, partners sleep at night and feel your loved one cuddle you. I feel Alan do that with me, not physically, but energetically. Energetically. So it just helps me go to sleep because I can feel him right there. When I wake up, he's right there. And it's the most amazing experience. I felt that from the beginning, the early days, and I couldn't wait for like when Taylor was visiting me a lot in the beginning because he was worried about me, of course. But to be, I didn't want to tell him, but I couldn't wait for him to go home because then I could go to bed and be in bed with Alan and feel his presence, feel his love. And I would always go to sleep with a smile on my face, even when I was grieving. I might cry, but I still felt this love and this comfort. That's Nothing can really take the place of that. No message even. We are physical beings who are here in this world to have a physical experience of life, right? Not a mental experience. I mean, yeah, we're here to think too, but we're here to experience with all our senses, right? Mind, body, spirit, emotionally, physically, everything. Not just think it, not just be in your head, not just, see them clairvoyantly. All that will come. But you want to feel them because then nobody can tell you that's not real because you go, but I felt that. I know what I felt. I know what it feels like to feel empty or feel, nothing or feel dead inside. And I know what it feels like when I feel loved and when I feel joy. I cannot conjure that up. We take this mission so seriously because we know that this is what we came here to do, to bring down the veil, to help people make contact with their loved ones in the spirit world because it's time, because you're going to spiritually evolve and grow. And you're going to help other people do the same just by doing it yourself. You're not going to have to tell them anything. You don't have to preach anything or teach it. You just help by living your life and making contact. You make a difference. You're raising up the vibration of the planet because you're raising up your vibration. So Hal and I've I was going to say we've always taught this, but he's correcting me saying I have always taught this. I've been a teacher for 36 years, teaching people to awaken spiritually, to connect with their guides, to follow their guidance. And now I'm adding to that, helping people to reach the veil and continue their relationships. And somebody has recently asked, well, is watching the replays as effective as the live classes? I said, absolutely. I've had people tell me that. I've had people in the past who couldn't attend any of our things live, and they would watch the replays and then say, wow, that was amazing. And again, I'm saying, you don't have any excuse, okay? No excuse. Here's Danny, who's in our group, saying, I love going through the Academy archives and choosing something to watch, a hot seat session, a workshop, a meeting. It's all powerful and wonderful to watch. And by the way, the hot seat sessions that Danny's talking about, that's when we choose somebody in the who's on the Zoom and we go dive deep. We do some one-on-one coaching. Maybe we'll, do a little bit of reading, whatever, but we help the member with what they're struggling with. Answer questions, go deeper. Like I can't do that here. We do that in the Academy. Oh, great. I don't know who this is I just joined the Academy and I've been watching the recording with profound experiences in days. Great. See, this is what we made this for. But yeah, the reason the recording is just effective is because remember, each recording is a portal to the spirit world. And every time you watch it, that they come in. Your loved one comes in, your spirit team comes in. This is how we created it. This was what the intention was. some of the older recordings were done before Alan passed away, and then after he passed away, and I said, "Well, I'm going to get rid of those older recordings." He goes, "No, no, 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 no. What are you talking about? I'm going to upgrade them. I'm going to go through them. All of the content is connecting people to the other side." He says, "Don't you get rid of any of that." He says, "You're a channel. You were channeling everything you did. So you were the conduit." So it is going to be as powerful watching the replay. I'm just seeing some of your comments. I just joined Academy and I've had one class and I can already tell what a gift it is to be part of this and how much it's going to help my love. And thank you so much. It makes me so happy when people make progress. You guys have no idea. You are really fulfilling me, fulfilling my life purpose. We are really here to serve. And that does bring the greatest joy. And you guys who thanking me and telling, me how great I am or whatever. I thank you, thank you, thank you. But I really I appreciate it. But and I really mean it when this just brings me the greatest joy. And I want to do whatever I can do personally to alleviate suffering and help people to finish out their life and live with joy, even if they've lost their partner or loved one, their parent, child, whoever. Okay, there's nothing that means more to me. And Alan does worry about me because he says I push myself too much and I'm so focused on this. So when it was my birthday, he said, "I want you to go out with Taylor. I want you to go out with do this and do that." And, "Oh, I have to do that." No, you don't have to do that. You have to rest and you have to have fun. You need a balanced life. So, but he knows that I am just completely 1,000% committed, as is he, as is he. So, and we just want to do our part to eradicate grief. Like my friend, I'm going to close with this. So I when I had breakfast with my friend, and we came back and we're sitting in her living room, and she is amazed by what we're doing. She met Alan before he passed, because we sold our house to her, and she knows what a character is, and she so loves and appreciates him. And she said, "What you're doing is so incredible, Pam." She says, "I have a friend whose mother lost her husband, and she was older, like probably in her 60s, maybe 70s. Her husband died, and the mother just turned to the children and said, 'Well, that's it for me. It's over.'" And I said, "What? What did she do?" She said, "She just said it's over." And the mother stopped eating. She starved herself to death. She didn't want to be a burden to her family. She couldn't go on without her husband. That just should never happen. And I know it is going to happen. And I know that we can't really save everybody. Okay, but we can save who we can save. We can help who we can help. So those of you who do join us, what we ask, if you can, and only if you can, is that you let people know that we're here and that we're here to help. That's all. Because the more people who read our story, Alan told me, even if they don't believe it, because of the nature of reality, because thoughts create, when somebody reads our story, it doesn't matter if they go, "Well, that's crazy," because they read our story, their thoughts are creating our story. So it's a tricky way of getting people to help you manifest what you wrote about by getting everybody to read it. We wrote it to help people heal, to help people make contact through the veil. And really, that's it. We appreciate you joining us for this journey because you're helping us and everyone else bring down the veil and making it easier for others to reach their loved ones. You are going to see more people reporting spontaneous contact. Then it's a question of, well, how do I deepen that? How do I take it to another level? But it has to begin somewhere. So it's going to begin with some sort of connection that's happening. And Ellen said, spirit world's just getting stronger because we're getting stronger. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. So, yeah, so share your story about, your journey with connecting with your loved one and with whoever you feel guided to share it with. It won't be everybody won't be open to it. That's okay. This really is okay. Just sharing the story and letting people know what's possible. And that's it. Once the veil is down, will we be able to really be with our loved ones and live life with them almost as if they were still in the physical world? He's saying to me, yes and no. Remember, they're not in a body. So you're not going to have that, although he says some of you might have physical contact. It really depends on them and you, because I do know some people that are having physical contact, but maybe not seeing completely clairvoyantly, or maybe they are seeing them like 3D. He says anything is possible, but can't promise you anything. Okay. So take care, everybody, and we'll be in touch about all of this. And yeah, get yourself in the academy if you're not already in it. That's it. That's it. Okay. We want to help you. We're here to help you. It's going to be the more of you in there, the more that group is going to be rocking, you guys. We're going to blast off and we're going to connect with our partners. You just wait and see. You don't want to be left behind. So get in there. Love you guys. Bye-bye now.